Hey everyone, welcome back to Third Shot Podcast. I'm here with Uncle Greg, and we've got another great episode in store for you. But in the meantime, please head on over to our social media, Instagram and Facebook at Third Shot Podcast, or on X at Third Shot Pod. As always, we invite you to go to our YouTube page and watch all of our episodes. Just search Third Shot Podcast and you'll find us there.
I think it's so fun that we get to do these from our Dill Dinker studio in Las Vegas now. How exciting!
I love that. Yes. And also, I've got to do a little plug for those of you who are living in Las Vegas or Henderson or visiting maybe one of the two. We encourage you to follow our Instagram page or Facebook page. Just search Dill Dinkers Henderson, Nevada. You can keep up with all of our updates. We've got some great, exciting stuff coming in the next couple of months. Fill out that interest form so you can stay in the loop on when we're going to open.
Yeah, it is exciting that we're putting all this together. We're finally going to open up our facility. Will and Denise Richards, the founders of Dill Dinkers, was on a little while ago, and we complimented what a fantastic team they have. And we have one of their team members that's been so integral in our development of our Dill Dinkers in Henderson, Andrea Taylor. She's our franchise business consultant, and she's joining us today. She's got a fascinating background in pickleball, and I can't wait to share her story with all of you. So let's bring her on. Andrea, welcome to Third Shot Podcast.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course, we're so excited. Normally, these meetings virtual are regarding business, but now we get to have a little bit of fun and hear a little bit more about your background. But before we get into it, let's do our first toast to you, Andrea, and for all of your wonderful work that you do for Dill Dinkers and for helping us out so much.
Okay.
Absolutely. Cheers. Now I'm ready. Let's go.
Right? I'm shooting coffee over here. Gotta wake myself up.
I got this like mixed drink. It's like fluorescent pink. It's awesome. I don't
Oh.
even know what brand it is. So, like my wife picked it up and I just like poured it in right before we got started. I'm like, okay, tasty.
That's awesome. All right, Andrea, can you share with us how you were introduced into the game of pickleball and how long have you been playing?
Sure. So, actually, my mom and dad introduced me probably back in 2012.
Wow.
Right. So, in between kid one and kid two, I started playing with them just to get out of the house. My dad actually made me come and play with him, and my mom would stay and watch the kids. So, that's how I started. It was really on and off for quite a few years. In 2015, after I had my third child, I got a little bit more serious, and I actually became a USA Pickleball ambassador at that time, focusing on the youth in our area. So that's how I got started. So I've been playing a long time. Now my level doesn't show that I've been playing that long because I'm so hot and cold. But yep, I've been in the game a long time.
Now, what sports or did you play sports growing up? Were you athletic just naturally, or what did you do?
I did. So in high school, I played soccer in the fall, basketball in the winter, and then I ran track and high jumped in the spring. So I was a three-sport athlete in high school, and then I focused on soccer in college.
Oh,
Wow.
nice. I was a soccer player too growing
Were
up.
you? Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Have you felt that that background in sports, maybe not just soccer, has kind of helped with picking up pickleball?
I do. I think I was a goalie. I was a goalkeeper in soccer. So
Oh,
we
wow.
focus a lot on footwork. And as we all know, footwork is super important when you're on the court, pickleball court. And then I guess hand eye coordination is probably also pretty useful. So, yeah.
Well, that's good that we found out that you were a goalie, you played volleyball, you played basketball. So now we know, Bridgie, don't try to lob Andrea.
Yeah,
She's
right.
got some hops, right? Don't It's not getting over her.
Yeah, we'll
Yes.
have to
And
fix
I
that.
hate lobbers. That's my biggest pet peeve in pickleball.
Oh, okay. Well, punish them. If they try to lobby, just punish them
Right,
with
Fight
that
it, yeah.
overhead.
right.
Well, not only have you been very athletic and you've been in the game for a long time, you've had a career around pickleball for a very long time. Tell everybody a little bit about how you started in the pickleball industry and where you've gone with that.
Yeah, sure. So I've been extremely fortunate. I've worked with 4 different pickleball companies. Pickleball Magazine is local here. I've had played a few times with Wayne and Lisa Dollard, who own Pickleball Magazine, and they also run Level Up Pickleball camps. So they needed a part-time coordinator for their camps, and they had asked me just one day randomly if I was interested in working part-time. And it was an opportunity I didn't feel like I could pass up. So I started there in about 2018.
Okay.
Um, I was with them for about a year, and then I felt like I wanted to explore different opportunities. Gamma Pickleball is also in Pittsburgh, and I had developed a relationship with them. I was on their committee to run the Gamma Classic that they have every summer here in Pittsburgh. So I went on board with them as a marketing coordinator and then managed their professional pickleball team.
Wow.
So a couple different hats. It was a very, very exciting. Got to travel across the country. I got to play a little bit when I went to support the team. And then I took about a year and a half off. I went back and got my master's. And then I reached out to Brooks Wiley with Major League Pickleball, who I had met as I was traveling the country for tournaments. And he brought me on about 6 months later. Worked for Major League Pickleball until the merger. And
Hmm.
then I met Will on just through LinkedIn. He had saw on LinkedIn my post looking for employment, and he thought with my pickleball background and my master's, my most recent master's, that I'd be a good fit for Dill Dinkers and a franchise business consultant. So I'm coming up on 2 years with Dill Dinkers.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you.
What would you say is the best thing about working in pickleball?
It's a good question, and it kind of corresponds with the question, why would you want to make a hobby a job, right? Everyone wants to work in pickleball because they have so much fun, but then when you turn it into a job, it's like we don't get to play as much. But
Mm.
since the beginning, I have always loved watching people have fun and watching people build relationships and grow and laugh. And I feel like every position that I've had in pickleball does that, especially at Dill Dinkers. Will and Denise, they're very big on building community within a community. And it fits perfect with what my goal is to bring people in. A lot of people that come through our doors, you know, um, had a hard day at work, or they just lost a spouse, or they're having a rough time at home, and they walk through our doors and they can set it all aside and build relationships within a community where they might otherwise not have that. So that's my biggest thrill out of working in pickleballs, seeing other people have fun and be happy.
Well, what's cool about what you do is you get to work with the franchisees or the regional developers as they're getting started, right? They're opening up their first facility, second facility. How have you seen that? And this is really selfishly asking this. Like, how have you seen that change their lives?
Oh my gosh. Um, It's amazing because I get our franchisees and regional developers when they're just starting out and they're so excited just to get the ball rolling, right? And
Hmm.
they're like, I don't really know what I'm getting into. So helping walk them along that path from signing to opening is amazing. And every location that I've opened, every franchisee that I've supported, when they open those doors for the first time and the people come in, it's just like something goes off in their minds, and they're just after all the hard work so excited, and they get so successful because they feel like they've accomplished, and they have accomplished something bigger than who they are, right? So it's really fun to watch and support all of my franchisees and RDs.
Well, we love the support that you've given us, and I'm sure that you're a huge comfort to all of those other franchisees as well. I'm going to ask another selfish question.
Okay.
What are some of the most common challenges that you've seen with opening a Dill Dinkers?
I would say the number one hardest thing for the franchisees and RDs to learn is that the site selection process can be very long. You know, we have a lot of requirements that go into our buildings. We're very specific. We're very specific with our leases. We don't allow our people to sign leases that are too big for them, where they're going to open their doors and then not succeed. So it takes a long time. And when you first sign that paper and you're ready to go, and then, you know, it's 1, 2, 3 months and you still don't have a site yet, you can lose the wind in your sails. So that's the hardest thing, I think, for our franchisees and RDs to come to grips with.
And I can attest to that. It took us a while to finally find our first location and sign that lease and go through all the negotiations back and forth and wonder, is this really going to happen? With the negotiations on the lease, sometimes it looks like it's going to happen, and then all of a sudden it takes a couple steps backwards, and you're going, oh no, we may lose the spot, or whatever. But finally we got it. And like you said, once we put our name on that lease, Bridgie and I are just pumped. We're excited. We can't sleep because we're always thinking about different ideas and how we're going to promote it.
Right.
And having you and the whole Dill Dinkers family, all of the support that we get has made this journey so much easier than trying to do it on our own. And I think working with you directly, but you have so much support within the team also at Dill Dinkers to help support us. And I think that's the way it's all structured is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about Dill Dinkers. You know, Will and Denise are running the show, and that's what their priority is. They make everyone feel like family. Everyone in corporate, all of our franchisees and RDs, that's just the community and the business that they've built, and it's great. It makes my job so much easier when, you guys as franchisees and you guys as regional developers don't feel like you're our customer, but like you're part of our team. So I think that makes everyone work better together. So.
Absolutely. And the little Dillbot that I keep asking questions to has been so helpful as well along the way. So you all have really done some amazing stuff, and we can't voice it enough of how excited we are.
Yeah.
I do have another
shout out to Ben on the Dillbot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great job
He's
there.
done a great job. But Dillbot's still learning. He's still learning.
So with being in the game for so long and playing since 2012 and working in the industry, where do you see pickleball going as a whole?
Oh my gosh. I think that question would have been easier like 2 or 3 years ago, when I was on scene, right? So I don't know. It has grown so much, especially during COVID. But 2018, I'm sure you're aware, the game changed from like a slower game. The Waters came in on the scene. They just started banging away. That made technology and the paddles and the balls become more sophisticated. So we saw a huge jump in 2018. And so I feel like we're sort of still on the trail of that as the game's changing. I think we're going to see, as we're already seeing, it's expanding, outside of the United States pretty big. So I think we'll continue to see an expansion all around the world. I think the PPA has done a great job of building it here in the United States. And so I don't know what it's going to look like in 5 or 10 years, but I hope it continues to see the growth that we have seen in the last 5 years. Then, everyone is going to have a paddle in their hand, which would be amazing.
We're going to work towards that. That's the goal, right?
Yes.
Get more paddles in more hands.
Yeah.
One of the things that you have an insider look because we interviewed the producers of Dreambreaker, right?
Mhm.
And they kind of well, part of the theme of the whole movie was kind of what was going on behind the scenes with MLP and PPA and that whole merger and stuff like that. Well, you were at MLP at the time, and I'm just
Yeah.
curious, what was it like just in general with the sport and with the MLP employees and as it was transitioning, or I don't know if it was transitioning is the right word, but that whole thing was going on between MLP and
Yeah, the
PPA.
turf wars. It was extremely stressful working, for MLP. I love my job at MLP. But yes, there were a couple months, I would say about 6 months that were extremely stressful for everyone, all for different reasons. Watching, Brooks and Steve have to go through those negotiations with their players. I thought it was extremely interesting to see which players, sided with MLP and which players sided with PPA. Um, it was very stressful for them as well, and so I'm really thankful that they were, able to come to an agreement. And I'm extremely thankful that PPA has kept MLP alive. I think it's a great addition to, the regular rhythm of the PPA tour. So, all I could say was it was extremely stressful. I was obviously on the outside. I was not in the inside walls of Brooks and Steve and in the whole negotiation process. Um, but it was a weird time. It was weird,
Yeah,
but
I would expect that. I mean,
yeah.
just watching the movie Dreambreaker, you could tell that everybody, was kind of like, what's gonna happen today? Like literally, it seemed like it was day to day, things were changing so quickly,
Hmm.
and the conversations that were going on between the two organizations, whether they were getting along, not getting along sometimes, it was just fascinating to learn about it.
Yeah, you never really know. I mean, you see it from the outside, which player is going
Yeah.
where, but to see from the inside, and I didn't even know that they were filming at that time. I had no
Oh.
idea. So it was pretty interesting to see what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah. And as a sport as a whole, I have to keep reminding myself how young pickleball is because
Mhm.
when stuff like this is happening between two big leagues and we're still trying to figure out rules and tournament play and pros and how the pros are going to get paid and it's so new that I think that there's still a lot that needs to happen over the next few years in order for things to kind of settle down and get to the spot where all the other major sports are at.
Yeah, it's definitely growing. New players are coming on the scene all the time. It's so hard. I mean, there's so many players, it's so hard to break through, but to see new faces, it's really sad for me to see, the regulars resign or, retire, I guess they call it.
Hmm.
Um, because they were there when I first started working in pickleball. Um, but yeah, it should be exciting to see as money is coming in and new players are coming on where it goes. So,
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier how the growth of pickleball is literally international now. And one of the questions that Reggie and I had, and I think it's appropriate to ask now because the Olympics are coming up, right?
mhm.
Very soon here. What countries do you think will emerge as pickleball powerhouses in the future?
Oh my gosh. Well, us obviously,
Okay.
United States. Um, I don't know. It seems to be going. I mean, over in Asia, it's really big. I think Canada has a nice pool of players, but I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think we also said a couple Asian countries. I think mine was Japan. I think Uncle went with China. India was also on both of our lists. I
Yes.
think the countries that have been playing badminton for some time and dominating with badminton would transition very well into playing pickleball. And then we had a couple wild cards. What was yours, Uncle? Do you
I
remember?
think I think I went with Australia and
Okay.
then France. I think
Mhm.
France might have been my wild card. Yeah. So Andrea, I'm gonna ask you to ask us, what have you never asked us
Oh gosh.
in all the time that we've been working together that you're curious about? What have you never asked us?
What's your rating?
Ooh,
Ooh, that's
okay.
a good one.
I need
That's
to
a
know if when I come to Vegas in a couple months, am I going to be able to play with you or am I going to have to sit it out?
Oh, Uncle's
oh
too
no,
good. He is so
no.
good.
Can I tell a funny story about my rating?
Sure.
Because I'll give you a number, but it's not really a real number. Here's what happened with my duper, and I hope duper's not listening right now. But so I was playing all these duper events, and I noticed that my rating wasn't moving at all. I was playing like 3, 4, or 5 different events, and my rating wasn't moving. And I'm like, the people that I was playing with, their rating moved, and I was going, what is going on? So finally, one of my partners realized what happened. There was another Greg Louie, and all of my scores were being put on that Greg Louie's uh, profile or whatever, their account. So his rating was changing on my play.
Oh no. I wonder if
And
he noticed.
I would think
Were you
She's like,
were
why am
you
I so
making it
good
go
all
up
of a
or were you making it go down?
I'm taking the fifth on that.
Okay.
sudden?
But anyway, so my duper should have went up for where it started at before I played those tournaments and stuff like that, and it never did. So right now, thank you, Bridgie, for complimenting me on my play. My duper rating is actually lower than probably what my level of play is, but I haven't played a duper event in months. So, but they did get it fixed. So now now my
Okay, good.
scores are, changing my rating.
I was gonna say Duper's pretty good about that. For some reason, I had two different accounts, and so like some tournaments were on one and some tournaments, so I had them merge them and they
But
fixed
we
me
can
up.
definitely play
Okay.
together,
Okay. Good.
no doubt. It's going to be fun when we get together in Vegas and
I
play.
know. I'm so excited. You guys have a great location. Um, Henderson is going to be great, and I'm super excited. I know there's a lot of players out there that are probably also super excited for you guys to open. So it should be it
We
should be a
can't
good
wait.
time. I
We can't
know.
wait.
I know.
Well, let's take a toast
Yeah.
Okay.
to opening up in Las Vegas. Dill Dinkers,
Yes.
Henderson. Cheers.
Mhm.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We just have to thank you, Andrea, for everything that you've done for us. I mean, I can't imagine going through this without you. I mean, honestly, you've been such a help. And I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Oh, well, thank you. You guys have been awesome to work with too. Super organized. Love the energy that you have, and I can't wait to watch you guys grow into this business. You guys are going to do really, really well.
Thank you. And thanks for coming on with us today. We really appreciate
Yes,
it.
Thank
and
you
thank
so
you for
much.
having me.
That was a lot of fun having Andrea with us.
Yeah, it was. It's fun to see a different side other than, our business meetings. We get to have a fun conversation.
Yeah, and I knew a little bit about her background, but I didn't know all the details. And fascinating career. I mean, what a dream to be able to make a career out of pickleball in these different areas. It's not
Right.
just one place. So that was really neat. So speaking of pickleball,
Yeah,
you have some news.
I do. Very minor news, but I have joined my first pickleball league.
Neat.
Yeah, I'm so excited because, normally I'm just a recreation player. I've done some tournaments here and there, but this will be my first league, which is great because it'll, force me to carve out time to play pickleball every week, with our podcast and work and Dill Dinkers. It can get busy. So this is definitely going to make sure that I get playing time on my calendar.
So what kind of league is this? Is this like, do you have a partner? Is it a ladder type of thing where you're rotating? What is this?
Yeah, so I don't know what the official format is called, but you don't come in with a partner. It's all just kind of solo. And then based on your level, they will create different like partners. And
Mm.
then when you're scheduled to play with that partner, then you end up rotating partners and then you just accumulate points based off of your performance with these different partners. And so there's three or four different levels, and it's going to be at Chicken and Pickle, and it's put on by an organization called Silly Pickle. So it's
Oh,
very recreational based, which I really liked about it and thought that it'd be a lot of fun. I am still also convincing my sister to play,
oh,
so
fun.
Shelly might be joining as well.
Oh,
But
that
I
would
think
be
we would be in
amazing.
different. Yeah, that'd be so fun. But I think we would be in different skill levels because she's just getting started, and yeah, that would be amazing if she could come out.
I think if she did it, she would have a blast, and it gives her an opportunity to meet a bunch of new people. Right? Isn't
Exactly.
that the beauty of especially the way this league is formatted because you're rotating different partners every week or every game. I don't know exactly how it works, but it forces you to meet a whole bunch of new people and make new friends.
That's part of the reason why I was encouraging her to do it as well, because I know that she's been wanting to get out there and meet new people, try something new, and then also for myself too. I'd love to meet some more pickleball players in the Las Vegas area.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of pickleball, right? It's just so easy to develop these new relationships and new friendships. And, it's neat because the league you're rotating, but you are seeing the same people for, I don't know, is it 6 weeks or 8 weeks long, the league?
Yeah, 6 weeks, I think.
So you get a chance to like, chat every week and kind of catch up and see, how the week's been for everybody. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Have you played in a league like that before?
No, not an official one. So at the club that I was playing at prior, we kind of had our own group, and we would always we were using Swish as kind of the platform, and we were using that to rotate us around to play with different people and keeping our score. So it wasn't an official league, but it was kind of a throw together league using that Swish technology and the Swish app. So um, but it's different because I already knew all those people, right?
Oh, right.
We've been playing together for a while. I think like what you're doing is even better in a sense that you get to meet new people. And what I found was, sometimes people get very used to playing with the same partners. When you're forced to play with different people every single game, it really helps your game adapt. Like you have to figure out like very quickly what are the strengths of somebody else that you're
Right.
playing with, and how do you cover the middle? All those things when you and I, we have a pretty good understanding of how to play together. But
Mhm.
when I'm playing with somebody brand new, then it does take a little. It takes a minute, but you don't have a minute. You got 11 points. You got to like figure it out quick.
Yeah, exactly. And the communication too, where it's like, should I call it or am I expecting them to call it? But I
Yes.
think my biggest anxiety right now is I don't want to be the player where people are like, "Oh, I don't want to get like I don't want to take my turn with with that
You will not be, trust me.
person."
So we went out and played. Last time I was in Vegas with you, we went out and played with your husband
Mhm.
and your sister, and I got to partner with your husband. And what I was so surprised is that, he's still learning the game. It was one, and he was such a good communicator. Like I didn't know whether, he wanted me to I didn't know what his expectation was, but he was going,
Mhm.
yours, mine, yours. Like he called every shot of those, potentially in the middle, whatever. He like called it out to me, and I was so like impressed. Like he knew.
Aw.
He knew.
I'm proud of him. I would yeah, that was our first time, and his first time playing. So going out, I was like, I wonder how this is gonna go. But I was actually pretty surprised at how quickly he was able to pick it up.
Very impressed, and you could tell he was athletic. Like he is athletic. Like his footwork, the way he moved around the court, whether, his defense, very, very good. And, you hadn't played in a little bit or not very often, and all of a sudden you came ripping some shots. I'm going, Bridgie, whoa, she brought some heat.
Maybe I needed some time off to rest the shoulder and elbow a bit. I don't know.
How does it feel? How did it feel after you played?
It was a little bit sore, but I think I just, from the years of softball and other sports, my joints aren't the same. Um,
Yeah,
so it was a little bit, but I've been doing yoga and Pilates lately because I'm really trying to focus on like getting stronger, like a stronger core and just kind of like developing my muscles a little bit more. And I think that that'll probably help on the pickleball court too.
so are you going somewhere to do yoga and Pilates, or are you just doing it at home?
My gym, I go to EOS, and they have the group fitness classes that is complimentary with the membership. And so just go on the schedule and sign myself up for one. And the first one I took kicked my butt, and I was so sore for like 3 days after. But it's sore in a good way because growing up playing sports and being involved in all of that stuff, we would be sore like all the time from playing. And so it,
Right.
it kind of makes me feel like I'm back in those ages of actually being athletic and being on a sports team.
You're an athlete again.
I am. My body's
When
like, what is going on?
when the muscles feel sore, you know you're an athlete again. Um, so in Pilates, are you using reformers or are you just doing floor Pilates or mat Pilates?
Just doing on the mat. I have wanted to try the reformer, but I'm intimidated by it. I'll say that.
It's easier.
Oh, is
Well,
it?
okay, I've only done it once,
Okay.
but and I thought it was much better than doing it just on the mat. I think the
Oh.
mat Pilates is very similar to yoga in a way, right? There's
Mhm.
the similar kind of movements and stretches and that type of thing. The reformer is completely different, and I felt it was better for me.
Hmm. Well, I'll keep that on my list of classes to try. I don't think that they have it at my gym,
Mhm.
but there are a lot of studios around here in Vegas. So,
I'll do it with you.
okay, yeah. All
Let's do it
right.
together. I
Sure.
would love
We'll
to do a
come back on the
class.
podcast and talk about the experience then.
Yeah, Pilates on a reformer, and good thing we're sitting while we do these because I might not be able to stand afterwards.
Yes.
All right. Well, we will report back on how our Pilates goes when we finally get around to scheduling a class together. That'd be fun, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna keep an eye out.
Well, I will be in Vegas very soon. I'm flying out tomorrow, and we can get together and obviously do another podcast and get our Dill Dinkers location up and running.
Absolutely. I always look forward to your time here. So let's do another toast
Let's do that.
to Uncle coming back to Vegas.
To Uncle and Bridgie being together again in
Yeah.
Vegas.
We'll go out to the courts and play some more too.
Let's do that.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, thank you everybody for listening to our show. We really appreciate all of your support. Please go on to our social media accounts, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or it's Third Shot Podcast. On X is Third Shot Pod. Go to our website, thirdshotpodcast.com. Check out all the past episodes and some of the merch that we have going on. And as Bridgie mentioned earlier, we do have our Dill Dinkers Henderson social media out there. So please go take a look at that and we'll keep you updated on all the fun stuff. Thanks again for Andrea Taylor showing up. She is fantastic. And everything that she does for Dill Dinkers has made our lives a lot easier. So please, we continue to share our enjoyment for the game and let's continue to grow our pickleball community together. See you next time on Third Shot Podcast.